Good morning, everybody. It's JP the Outlaw, the voice that makes them moist, your favorite color commentator, here with the JP Show. News and rumors for your April 14th, 2018. I wanted to touch on a couple of things, our main topics for the day. Of course, the UK tournament, number 2. I also want to touch on the greatest Royal Rumble and the agenda. I'm just going to call it the agenda. But first, let's touch on UK Tournament 2. I'm very excited for this. After the first one with 16 superstars, they go on to the second one with 8. Now, my talking points on this, and of course, the challenger will fight Pete Dunne for the opportunity of the UK Championship. Now, of course, it's going to be in London, hosted at the Royal Albert Hall in London. The first night will be announced on June the 18th, and this will be an 8-man tournament versus the first one being 16. Now, my touching points on this is I would have rather them done what they did last year and got other athletes from the UK, let's say superstars, but superstars from the UK like Walter and Mark Gibson. You could have pulled these guys in, big indie names over there for them. But it seems as though that, of course, Triple H is spearheading this, and he's just going to have the NXT roster fill in the blanks, and it's a lot of UK guys on NXT, so I can see him doing that, as well as the UK roster as well on tour. So you can see a combination of everything. I would like for the finals to end with Roderick Strong, given the fact that he just turned on Pete Dunne, and I think that's where they're going to go with this. Also, there's a rumor out there that the UK will be getting tag team championships this summer. If that's the case, you already got a perfect tag team in Mustache Mountain. You might as well go ahead and give Tyler Bate a couple more accolades on his resume. As well as the no names announced at this time. Again, if I hear anything, I will give more information on this. But for right now, I am really excited. This second tournament could branch off a lot of superstars, open the eyes of, just like last year with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate in that main event that they had for, I think it was a Takeover Chicago. I don't think it was the main event though. Takeover Chicago, and that was one of WWE's best matches of all time, if you ask me. And that's putting it up. A lot of competition, but two young guns fighting it out for the UK Championship, and then they did it again. That's just perfect storyline booking. And Triple H himself is a long-term booker, so it wouldn't surprise me that this storyline that they have with Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong trickles over into what we're doing now as far as the UK tournament. It wouldn't surprise me if it boils down to Roderick Strong challenging Pete Dunne for the UK title. Moving on, because that's all the information I have for that right now. We're going, again, moving on. The greatest Royal Rumble. The problem with this Royal Rumble is that, again, this is a glorified B show. And I need you guys to know that. This is a house show disguising itself as a pay-per-view. Now, the crowd that they have over there in India will respond to certain things accordingly, because that's what the WWE agenda is. They want them to respond. But I think the biggest story in all of this is Rusev. I really do. I think Rusev has gotten the short end of the stick, has gotten the shaft so long, he does not even know what's going on. And the WWE, for lack of better terms, has booked him horribly. You know what I mean? I would say the same about Finn Balor. I would say the same about Asuka. After Asuka winning all these matches, going on this undefeated streak, you let her lose to Charlotte and then let Carmella take the title off of Charlotte the following SmackDown, which would be the Tuesday night after Mania. This is the horrible booking that I'm discussing via this whole card. because this card is starting to shape up, and it looks like a decent card. It actually looks better than the WrestleMania card that they gave you. And for that being said, that's fucked up. That's fucked up in so many ways. Because Mania is supposed to be that marquee moment. And any wrestler fan, even the casual fans, come around for WrestleMania. Okay? Now, the biggest issue going into coming out of WrestleMania is that how you book Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns is a big part of how bad WrestleMania was. Only simply because Roman is supposed to have the ball by now. And what I mean by have the ball, he's supposed to be their number one guy. He's supposed to be the equivalent of The Rock and Stone Cold. But at this point in his career, after being passed the torch so many times from your John Cena's to your Rocks, Triple H, Brock Lesnar at one point, how many more times can you pass the ball to this guy? How many more times can you pass it to him and he fails miserably? When you have your dominant monster and Braun Strowman being fucking delegated to babysitting duty for Nicholas. Don't get it wrong. I love the angle. I thought it was hilarious. I think it's bad for the Bar to lose like that. But for the most part, that's just a good PR move. Anything can happen at Mania. But in the same sense, this is the guy you should have in your main event. Flipping trucks and breaking down Tigertrons and all that shit. Braun Strowman is the guy you want in your main event. Same with Samoa Joe. Same with Finn Balor. Finn Balor is your next babyface without even trying. You don't even have to put anything into Finn Balor. But, let's get into this greatest Royal Rumble. Okay? Like I said, the horrible booking is what's going to kill this show. You got 7 championship matches all being defended on this one show. Plus a 50-man Royal Rumble. And the returning Chris Jericho and a returning, maybe part-timer Undertaker. Okay? Now, I expect him to go a little bit more in this match than he did with John Cena, that 5-minute squash match. That's all it was. I think John Cena, the booking of that match was just John Cena calling the Undertaker out, but never really prepping and preparing for the Undertaker. That's why the match was boom, bam, pow real quick. Now, reality tells me that, Undertaker just got hip surgery. He can't be in there taking big bumps. I understand. I dig that completely. You want to get at least another year or maybe even 2 years out of the Undertaker. After that, there's nothing else you can do. I think at WrestleMania 35, it should be career versus career. John Cena versus The Undertaker. And that match should get all the time in the world. That WrestleMania should be booked behind that match. And I think that's what they're gearing up to, because you got Chris Jericho, who just came from New Japan, wrestling Kenny Omega, attacking Ibushi. I don't really watch New Japan, so I can't really get the names right. If I'm wrong on the pronunciation, or if I'm saying something that does not match up, forgive me. But you have Chris Jericho, who's on tour with Fozzy, and right now is having one of the best years and only been in maybe like 2 or 3 matches. But you have Chris Jericho coming out of retirement to go up against The Undertaker. Now, when this match was first announced, it was supposed to be Undertaker and Rusev. Bringing me full circle, right back to Rusev. Rusev was pulled out of this match based off of a couple of things. 1, tweets. 2, heat. Because he got backstage heat. He had it for a while and everybody knows about it. So, in 3, Rusev is over like a motherfucker. He did that on his own. He didn't ask for the corporate machine to back him to be over. And that's one of those things, that's one of those hidden gems. Okay? The WWE, maybe I think a month ago, maybe even 2 months ago, came out with a calendar that had nothing but Rusev Day on it. All Rusev Day. Rusev, fucking Labor Day, that's Rusev Day. Okay? Christmas, Rusev missing. Or some shit like that. You dig what I'm saying? So, with all that being said, one of the number 1 top merchandise sellers in the company right now, You put him in a match between the Undertaker, who's essentially going to come back just to fight John Cena again. In my mind, I think that's where they're going with this, because who else? Who else can he fight? Who else is left for him to go up against? I wouldn't mind seeing Undertaker and Joe submitting his legacy as being one of the guys that beat the Undertaker. But the fuck if it happens. I would have done Braun versus Taker. But again, you got to have a good dance partner. And I think them switching out Rusev for Chris Jericho was just to spice it up a little bit. Because again, Rusev being pulled out of this match because he's on Twitter saying a lot of shit. Everybody talks shit. And I think it was a good build towards the match. He said, bury me softly. It's a casket match. Bury me softly. Now, that can be taken two different ways. In wrestling terms and mark terms. In mark terms, that's him burying his career. In wrestling terms, that's just him burying him. So, depending on how wise you are to the business, you would see that, okay, this was a verbal jab at the company. And the company did not take that lightly. Furthermore, he was on TMC saying that his match with The Undertaker will be phenomenal. I'm going to crush him and all this other good stuff. So, Lana then backed him, and again, this is the media and this is how they play. Certain verbiage have you click into certain items. If you're a wrestling fan and you see Rusev bad-mouthing The Undertaker via a TMC segment, of course you're going to watch that. Not just, what? What did he say about The Undertaker? They got a match at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Right. In the same sense, you can't tell me he didn't get pulled out that match because of his heat backstage. No fucking way. No fucking way. Yeah, Jericho was announced to be in the Greatest Royal Rumble, the 50-man Royal Rumble, but then all of a sudden he's going up against Undertaker in a casket match? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. I feel for Rusev. If it was me, he's currently taking down all ties to the WWE on his Twitter wall, on his Facebook, I believe, as well. So if that's the case, if he's done all that his days in the WWE is numbered. It's numbered. Because that just tells me you're tired. You're tired of being underbooked. And I'm pretty sure you put a Rusev on an all-in show with a Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks. You can't tell me Rusev Day won't get over on All In. And that's where it's leading to. If I was Rusev right now, I wouldn't join the Bullet Club, but I would definitely go to ROH, see if they got a spot for me, and move in the right direction. I think Rusev goes to any company, any indie promotion right now, should be the top babyface, especially if he has the rights to his name. Especially if he has the rights to his name. Furthermore, I want to talk about the Royal Rumble stipulation. What is the Royal Rumble for? You have 50 men over a top rope challenge, and is it a trophy? Is it a title shot? What is it? Because again, without any validity, why the fuck are you even doing it? The Royal Rumble in January is for a number one contendership for whichever title on SmackDown or Raw. The number one title on SmackDown or Raw. That's what that's for. The Royal Rumble at WrestleMania is for a goddamn trophy. The Andre the Giant Memorial Royal Rumble. Now, just 3 fucking weeks removed from that Royal Rumble, you're having a 50-man Royal Rumble with nothing on the line. That makes absolutely no sense. You could have came up with something to fill that gap. And now it's just apparent that, all right, well, we got 50 guys going into this motherfucker, and, it is what it is. They're going out and they're having a good time. I don't think that's fair to the fans. I don't think that's fair to the people in India. Especially when you just had the Royal Rumble, the Andre the Giant Royal Rumble. Why the fuck are you having all these Royal Rumbles? You could have did a tournament in this, and it could have came out way better. It could have came out way better. This should have been, if you're going to India, you could have did King of the Ring. First ever King of the Ring. Could have had 50 fucking challenges. It could have been a 2-night event, and it could have aired on the WWE Network. And it would have been a way better production than this greatest Royal Rumble bullshit you got going on. Just saying. But the real gripe with the greatest Royal Rumble, after all that, after the biggest, I still say Rusev, the way you're treating Rusev is horrible. It's just downright fucked up. He's one of your best workers you have. Maybe not the best, but one of the best young up-and-comers you got. And you're just not booking him. And he's a homegrown talent. It's not like Rusev came from the indies and blew up super fast. No. He went through your developmental. He fought through the fucking stupid-ass gimmick of the pissed-off foreigner. Right. And now he's gotten across as a lovable babyface, even in his heel persona. But the biggest gripe of it all is Roman. See, the WWE, like I said in the beginning of all of this, the WWE is pushing their agenda. I agree that there's no fucking way that AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura did not tear down the house. I love the match. But you go to Wrestle Kingdom 11. Compare the match that they had here at WrestleMania 34. There is no comparison. And these guys was willing to go better than what they did at WrestleMania. But you allowed them to go slow, that methodical pace that the WWE is known for. There's no way. The road agent, whoever set this up, told them to go slow. Told them to do your job, but don't do it too good. It's a mind fuck. It's a mind fuck. That's all it is. All to push the Roman agenda. The Roman agenda. And again, this all takes me full circle. If you're passing him the ball in the mix of all the horrible booking of just Brock Lesnar dominating everybody up until he met Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, where it took 6 F5s to put Roman Reigns away. Not only that, he had a crimson mask on, got cut open the hard way. But yet and still, you feel as though you have to go to India to get Roman Reigns that fan reaction that, again, Vince McMahon wants. You completely dropped the ball with Finn Balor. You're not using Seth Rollins. Samoa Joe should be booked to the fucking moon. Same with Braun Strowman. And this is just 4 of the stars that they have on fucking Raw that they're not using that could benefit from this type of push. But it's something about Roman. It's something about Roman. He is his own draw. Don't get it fucked up. If they book Roman right, if they turn him heel now, Roman can be a megastar for the fucking WWE. Fuck future superstar, megastar. Okay? He could even eclipse Stone Cold if they turn him heel right now. But they won't. They won't. And then you'll sit there with the smack face. Well, I don't like Roman and I hate what they do. No. The WWE is going to still do what they do despite themselves. Punk said it best. So you have to let them do what they're going to do. We still push our homegrown talents. We still push our indie marks. Absolutely. Ty Dillinger, love him to death. Daniel Bryan, one of the biggest stars they have. And I can't wait till they start using him equivalently to what he should be used. But, again, in due time. But that's all we got here for the day. That's your news and rumors. It was mostly my opinion on what's going on as far as the UK tournament and just this greatest Royal Rumble. It's horrible that they booked it under that name. I don't see like I said, I don't see what they're going to do as far as rebuilding these superstars that they had let down. Finn Balor, Rusev, and Asuka. Also, just get it over already with Roman. If you're going to give him the ball, give him the ball. Cut it out. You do not have to do it over here in India so you can get a bigger pop for Roman Reigns. And that's simple as that. You could have did it on the next fucking Raw after Monday. You would have got the same results. It'd be fucked up if they go all the way to India. And of course, I'm going to watch it. I got to watch the greatest Rumble ever. But, again, it'd be fucked up if they go to India and the crowd reacts the same way they do here in America. Then what do you do, WWE? Then what do you do? Do you wash your hands? And I'm just saying, I'm wrapping it up. Okay? Of course, tune into the fucking show. Tomorrow we'll go over the roster shakeup. My top 10 moves from Raw to SmackDown, from SmackDown to Raw, and reasons on why you would move them this point in their career. Also, whatever news and rumors that so happen to come across my Twitter line or my Facebook Live or whatever. I'm definitely going to be on there. Check us out on Facebook, JP Outlaw Lab Class. If you want to be joined into this group, only thing you have to do is get an invite. You're probably already a member if you're listening to the show frequently. As well as the wrestling fans on Wrestling Amino. I appreciate you guys. We are up to 892 followers on Wrestling Amino. Of course, follow the Outlaw. Don't forget to check us out. JP Universe Mode is going up this weekend. First episode of Raw. The new roster for the JP Universe Mode will go up later today. And then I will talk to you guys tomorrow for my roster shakeup. Peace. Outlaw out.